welcome to yet another episode with your hosts, Agnes
and Karendi.
And on today's episode, we are going to dive into yet another uncomfortable conversation, something not talked about, but we have to talk about it. And so today we are going to talk about the current trend of underage sex and hookup culture. And so on the recent statistics done by the Kenya Demographic and Health Survey, which is a national government survey that deals with the well-being of mothers and the children. And so it is majorly conducted by the WHO, UNICEF, USAID, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. And so they were saying that about 21.5% of young people report first sexual encounter before 15 years. I think that is very alarming.
It is. It sure is. And just the other day when we had the World AIDS Day on the 1st of December 2025, there were also some quite alarming statistics given by the government, by a research done by the National Syndemic Disease Control Council. And they say that adolescents, or rather teens, aged between 10 to 19 years account for 14% of new HIV infections. That was in the year 2024. You can imagine these people are not even 20-year-olds. Between 10 to 19, quite alarming for us.
And 10 is not yet a teen. Those are pre-teens.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the big question is, where are those kids? Are they in our houses?
Yeah, because that's a large number.
Yeah, that's a large. And we tend to think that everybody is like, yeah, teenagers are engaging and all that, and nobody thinks about that one in their home, the friends, children, the one in school, the one in church. And so we imagine it's
another one that we all don't know about.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of every time that tuko shule and a parent comes and you try to tell them again, your child did A, B, C, and D. They are genuinely shocked. I think, I don't know kama we are in denial. Is it denial that we are in, or we just don't know that these things happen, or don't we just want to think about it? Some things that are scary, you don't want even to think about them.
Yeah.
But the truth is here with us. We can't ignore it. We can't wish it away. And so, as you've said, these are our kids. These are the children, our nieces, our nephews, the children we teach, the children that go to Sunday school, all these children, and teen churches.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about it.
Yeah, we have to.
We do.
Because what else can we do?
Nothing. Nothing. Swept under the carpet only becomes worse.
True. And so why do you think these kids engage in sex at this early age? At 10 years old, they are in grade, they're in junior school, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And once it has started, because we won't know it as a parent most of the time, like you've said, that we sometimes we are in denial. Sometimes we imagine these are kids from another world and all that, and you cannot even imagine that my kid, the one I know, 10 years old, engaging. But imagine maybe or maybe not they are. And why do you think they are engaging? What could be the reason?
For me, I would attribute the first one to curiosity. Curiosity coming from the things they see, the stories they hear, and how sex is portrayed out here. Because you realize that in the modern society, sex is portrayed as a very good thing, as something that is very casual, very normal, and a thing that has zero consequences.
True.
So that now anybody who does not have sex, or anybody who's not getting it, who is not engaged, or anyone who is not active as a teen, they feel like they're the only ones who are maybe backward. Yeah, it's a flex to tell you.
You're the baller.
Wewe ni baller. You tell your age mates how you had sex, and it's so weird because during our days it was very shameful. I don't know what happened to the shame around the matter sex.
How could you even talk about it?
Yeah.
In fact, we are trying, we are doing it.
Even now, sitting here and thinking that my dad is gonna watch me saying the S word,
Yeah.
And so nowadays, we parents, we have to agree that things have changed.
Yeah.
We really have to agree. Mambo imebadilika. Now, people have no problem. Kids as young as 10 years old have no problem talking about sex. Yeah, they talk about it, they normalize it. These conversations are very sexual that they have, and they glorify sex.
Yeah.
And so everybody wants to try what is this thing that feels like it's so flowery and very good that I've not experienced.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it. The other day, we've just opened schools. And so the kids are coming back. It's 2 months holiday. And definitely you catch up with your friends.
Yes.
And what is it that you're dealing with? It's talks. And what are these talks? It's not about how you went to visit your grandmother, you went for a vacation with your family. No, they're talking about how they hooked up. Like you're saying, it's casual. So it's hook up. Let's hook up. Let's do it. It's consequence free, and like we are saying that at this age they tend to not think about the consequence of whatever action they are doing.
Absolutely not, they don't, because if you look at the situation and you find teenagers talking about sex, it's like something that is you it's like you're winning.
Yeah.
If you have sex with so many people, we need to learn a few things from you. You're the star. You're making it in life, and the way it's portrayed, it is worrying, because they will share their sexual partners. A good example, there's a day some students did not report from the holiday, and you go to class and ask why so and so, because at least wanajuana na this and the other person, and they tell you, teacher, have you checked with their boyfriend? And you wonder, someone's boyfriend is known by the whole class.
Yeah.
So uko like, guys, kwani munajuanga partner huyu ni nani? And they shout. Everybody knows these are the person's partner. And what do you do with the partner? Alisema ataenda kumtembelea, atapewa permission na nani? Atatoroka home. And you wonder, wow, when did we start talking about sex so openly? But that is how the society is.
Yeah.
Even from the movies that they watch.
True. And like you're saying, that it's so casual and it is very normal. You realize that this boyfriend that they talk about is not the boyfriend we had back then. The boyfriend, the work of the boyfriend, or the role the boyfriend was playing was just escort you home after church, after during the functions, funky shule, munaonana, you write those 2 letters, and that was a boyfriend.
You remind me of even the pickup line that everybody had. Mmefika wapi? Every conversation started with mmefika wapi, and it was so innocent. The other day you were saying how your principal was even saying, like, I don't want to see people not interacting because it was that innocent.
In fact, we used to be given permission. We host games, drama festivals, music festivals, and so in the afternoon, because used to host back then, it was provincials, now it's the extra county. So schools from all over come, and the principal would be very categorical that I'm giving you permission not to go and talk to another girl. I want you talking to another boy. Socialize, get to know the other side of this gender, not just talk to girls. But nowadays, in fact, what you're doing is protecting them, because now it is very normal. In fact, the other day we had this conversation that it is that normal and very casual that it is even captured in compositions and in shares. It is described, like the whole thing, how it happened. And they've forgotten that even in our writings, in our studies, we have to uphold morality.
Actually, you look at it and wonder. And then when you call the person who did an insha that is describing every sexual act, they are genuinely shocked. Like, what are you talking about?
Why are you surprised?
Teacher, lakini. Kwani, what's wrong with you? It's that normal. Sex is that normal. And every time they talk about it, they go then and hook each other up. So that if I'm talking about my boyfriend and how we made out and what we did with him and how we kissed and all that, and you seem genuinely intrigued and you want, I want a bit of this. They also are very keen to get you the friend to the boyfriend.
Yeah, that is for that.
You enjoy it.
Sorry, that is for that innocent one.
The innocent one is helped.
Yeah, because the description is that of excitement, enjoyment, and so they also want to try.
Yeah, so that curiosity.
Yeah, it's built. And so what happens? We the other day we were talking about how the hooking up is they're so desperate that in Dakaine we went for a trip and that tunnel, the underground tunnel, we have phone numbers, we have Instagram accounts, follow, and they don't even care who's going to follow. So long as you follow me, I need to have this 1 million, this 1,000 followers. Let's hook up, let's have a conversation, and remember, it's a random person.
Yeah. By the way, nowadays people, it's so casual that you want to talk to me, I want to talk to you.
Yeah, we are going to talk.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
It's going to be sex talk. Let's do it as well. And these gadgets that they have and they rush home to go and use, they do a lot of this. And they connect with people, with strangers. They don't know, and they meet up.
In fact, what I came to realize is that they are creating accounts without indicating that they are under 18, they are minors.
Yes.
And so they are exposed to so much explicit content. You realize that whoever they are talking to, whatever content you scroll, the other day I got to try scroll to one of their accounts, what really happens, even from the bio, the description of the bio, it is already like you shocked.
Yes.
How old are you again? I'm just 13. And what are they doing? They ensure that they use those accounts, or not accounts rather, apps that have the privacy restrictions.
Talk of Instagram.
Yeah. They know the parent cannot access it when I'm not there.
Yes.
In fact, we tried, there's a case you're following up. We tried to log into one because, again, they don't even know about the Cybercrime Act. They don't know.
They're so innocent, but yet they just do things that are just in the extreme in regards to their age. Another tactic that they use is to freeze the apps.
True.
So, you remember the other day a parent comes and you're like, anashanga genuinely, awa wanaongeanga wapi, and simuoni akitoka, and you're like probably online, and the parent goes like, Sina app, sina Instagram, mimi sina TikTok on my phone.
It's frozen.
So
that is how they plan everything.
Yeah.
And have you noted that they can even borrow? Yes. Remember, they can borrow a phone from a teacher. Can I make a call to my parents? And innocently you just give them because you want to help them. Kumbe they are there in a split of a second.
Very fast.
To log in to their accounts
and quickly log out. You
will never have a trace of anything.
True. Even to the extent of borrowing phones from strangers. Yeah. Someone just goes and okay, I'm lost. Let me just make a call to this and the other person, my mom, and so on and so forth. But they just talk to strangers because those are strangers. Again, they are not aware that someone can purport to be their age mate and speak the level, the kind of language that they speak, but they're impersonating. A 40-year-old who is not a good person, a pedophile or something like that, can be impersonating to be somebody that they think they like, their age mate and all that, and they're not aware of all these dangers that are there online. And so parents, it is worrying. Do we have these conversations with our young ones? Ama we keep assuming it's not them. So who is it? Again, who is it?
True. Yes. And again, it is how it is exposing them to, other than all this content, remember, like I've said, they are not aware of what the Cybercrime Act says. And so they go ahead. In fact, the case, it was about a student insulting another one. So what if I choose to file a case against the other one? that's low.
Yeah.
And remember, it is indicated there this person is above 18. So you cannot say it's a minor, they did not know. Again, ignorance is not allowed.
Yes.
You see, and you know, again, it's on the apps. It's the same place that they will plan for the house parties.
Yes.
The HPs.
HPs.
Yeah.
The thing that you also really catch up on.
It's the trend.
But the parent would be here wondering, and alienda JHP. Sangapi house party. Mtoto wangu atokangi. You know, and you wonder which one tokas, because no one ever wants tokas. To say there's tokas. Wanatoka and wanaenda kesha. Yeah.
Who do they ensure they use?
Kazi ule mama na trust.
Yeah.
Mama anajuanga Mary anapitanga. First of all, parents kupita mtihani, good manners, not necessarily.
It's not a guarantee.
It's a guarantee that that is a very safe person to be with your child. So parent anaangalia, huyu anapitanga, this one get B's in a good school.
Yeah.
So definitely
they can tag along, and
they can tag along. They can tag along, and then kesha, and then to this and the other party and all that.
Then what are they doing? So they ensure, Mom, we're going for the kesha. They go for the parties. It's at night. But then again, I there's something I realized about it as they were narrating the whole thing, how they went. Again, I asked them, what is your ideal parent or parenting style you would want? Yeah,
so that you tell them what these things and you have conversations on these matters. And
so they had this, they used these influential people in the country and how they referred to their relationship with their teenagers again.
Yes.
And so they talked about how the influencers talk freely about menstrual health, talk about sexual matters. And so they are free. Even the parent can even drop them for a party. You see.
Yeah.
So I asked them, how is it different from yours or what you go through? They said, yeah, teacher, we have to go for the party. We have to go for the party, but now the problem is, I know my parent cannot allow me. They cannot trust me to be at the party. And so what do? I ensure that I use someone that they trust, or look for a way. I tell them I'm going for a kesha and then I'll go for the party. But again, what is the difference between the two parties? This one that had a conversation and this one that is hiding. This one is trusted, the other one not trusted. So the one that feels not trusted, the privacy. So they say for those parties they cannot allow, in fact there are no lights, no cameras, whereas this other, they have all that. And so I learned one thing. They also want to connect.
Yeah.
They also want to feel trusted, and they want the conversations. Yeah.
They want to have this real life conversations. And I think now that is evident even when you go to class and they tell us all these things, and you hear their stories, and then later you give your view on really what's up, what are the dangers, and the class goes quiet. Everybody really wants to hear Ayana Kumbe. And so it's not like they are bad, or it's not like children don't want to have good mannerisms. It's not like they want to engage in sex so that because they want to annoy their parents. It's because sometimes we don't have these very honest conversations. And when we do, we are not hearing their point of view. There's always a disconnect, there's always a gap, because like you go and ask a group of teenagers, do you have a sex education with your parents? They'll tell you, and no. But ask the parent, do you have sex education with your children? They'll tell you, yes. And what is sex education to parents?
Nisikuone na mwanaume.
Uende upate mtoto usirudi hapa. Yes, usiende usikuje hapa ukipata mtoto. Yeah, so they really want connection. So wanataka connection, and they want connection on real life issues, because when a parent says ukipata mimba ujue mali utaenda, that is a threat. You've not reached them to their level. Waulize what do you speak about with your classmates? Why do people speak like this? What do you observe when people speak like this? What are you doing on your social media? I'll allow you, but let's discuss what is this, so that they understand what is the danger. Don't just snatch the phone.
True, because one thing we've learned that we can't control this generation.
We can't control it.
It's an e-generation already. They can always access the gadgets.
They always do. Hata kama hujanunulia wako simu, anajua the current dance style.
Yeah.
Lazima anajua, because that is what matters most.
The fashion.
The fashion. They know what is trending. They will have IG accounts. I don't know from whose phone they were created or whose gadget. They will catch up with their friends online.
Yeah.
Sasa hata ukimunyima simu jamani, mzazi, I don't think that is something that is workable, and that is what sometimes many parents do. They think that if I withhold or withdraw the phone from my child, then I'm helping them. You see, but you are not, because at the end of the day they will just access a gadget from some place, and they're not guided.
Yeah.
Because this is the group that they say their frontal cortex has not even developed to be able to make very good analyzed decisions and to be able to be, very critical about what they are doing. They just want to follow what people are doing. They want to belong. Again, we said teenagers have that need for belonging. Every teenager wants to feel, I belong, I'm accepted. Again, they are changing.
Yeah.
Their bodies changing. So many changes are happening. And again, another problem that we have, their identity. They are forming identity. I don't even know why as a society we call it identity crisis. Why don't we look at it in the positive way? So that we understand, si eti lazima mtu akiwa teenage akuwe na identity crisis.
Yeah.
What they are doing, they are forming identity. And why are most of them in identity crisis? Is because we have not guided them very well so that they follow what others are saying. That shouldn't be the narrative. And it's coming from us parents and the role models and the people in the society who should be modeling our children. So that we talk about sex, not don't have sex. And another assumption is, tunaambia don't have sex. And you're left there wondering, now whatever I had it, so where does that leave me?
What is
that
the
category.
problem?
Not in the category of the people you're advising, because I've had it. Come to my level. Niuliza, have you had sex? Because we want to talk about it. Yes, I have had it. Why did you, with whom did you have it? Why did you have it? Let me reach you at the point where you are. Let's not, at a church, let's not assume that now everybody has not had a sexual encounter. And we say, nah, abstain. You are guiding from your own imagination, not from the matters on the ground. Yeah. So very candid conversations are necessary.
True. In fact, the other day one told me that it's what you say that we do. You say don't do it, I will do it, because I don't even again understand why am I not doing it.
Exactly.
Can you tell me not to do it with a reason?
And my friends who are doing it seem to be enjoying.
Yes. So how will I understand why I'm not doing it?
I also don't understand at this point. It is real.
It is very real.
Yeah, it is very, 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 very real. But now, if the parents are like ours during that time, they would wonder, sasa mambo ya sex. I would rather convince myself for my own peace of mind as a parent that afanyi ndio tuendelee tu. Because kama anafanya, you don't even know where to start. You don't even know how to start a conversation about sex. But it would be easier even for the parents who have younger children if we started it early.
Yeah. Beginning from menstrual health.
Talking of menstrual health. How was yours? Who taught you?
Who? Nobody taught me. Because again, I was young, I remember, all the way in primary school, never experienced. At Form 2, nobody tried even to show me how, or rather, but they have never seen anybody come to our schools, or the schools have been, even the organizations. And so at Form 2, I had to figure the whole thing out alone. So nobody, we never sat down with anyone to walk me through menstrual health, menstrual education. And it's such an easy thing to do, I think.
Yeah, it's an opportunity actually for parents, because our age mates, our story is not any different, like mine not any different. Parents assume that you are taught whatever at school, maybe you figure it out, but again, it would be, the point is, it would be a very good point to start at. Those normal things of life that would actually confuse them, reassure them, show them what this and the other happens, understand their issues. Nobody even talks about the trauma of even having your menstruation and you don't even know what you're going to change that bad, where to change, and it's just stressful because it's a new thing, and not just the menstruation, many other things are happening and there's so many changes, and it's a good time to start so that you build the rapport.
Yeah.
Again, we said for a teenager, you don't guide until you've connected. And now our parents, many parents maybe left their kids without discussing all these things. And then they want now to discuss sex and they want their kids to open up. I mean, it doesn't start like that. We have to first of all connect, and then we can continue. We build trust. We assure that this one can listen to me without judging, and then we can have these conversations because it's necessary we do.
Yeah, true.
It's really necessary we do. And even as we speak on menstruation, those are mothers that really would struggle to tell you one or the other things about it. Yes, they will provide the sanitary pads. They will not explain anything. They will not explain your worries, your fears, all those things. And now let's not even talk about the dads. Yeah, it's even worse for
It's
them.
worse.
Yes, and from maybe our age mates, how they grew up, it is about time that we changed, because now we have to talk.
Yeah, we have to talk. And there was a lot of shaming rather around it.
Yeah.
And so on to why else would they do it? Why else would our kids engage in this underage sex? Why is the hookup culture now a trend?
I think it will come from something you shared about your English class. You remember?
Yeah.
The blossoms of Savannah.
Sure.
In literature classes, so we get to talk a lot because of the trending issues and all that. And you shared a very interesting story, which I know in many other areas we share those feelings.
True.
Yeah. And it was an interesting scenario. Maybe you can share it.
Yeah, so the book, we did it some few years back. It's Blossoms of the Savannah. And those who have read it, it revolves around FGM, underage, forced marriages. And so we had these characters. We have Rezian, and the father Olekaelo. And so traditionally, Olekaelo wants to marry off the daughter to a rich man, because a father of daughters was known as it's a source of wealth.
Of course.
And so at this point, during this period the book was being written, education had been introduced, but again, remember, back then girls were not to be educated, to be married off to a rich man to get money. And so this character Rezian has an option to get married or go to school. And so she realizes that the father had already married her off to this rich man. Good things offered, money offered to the father, and Rezian did not have an option. She was supposed to just accept and get married. Has a good house, a mansion, but Rezian decides to do what? To elope and go to school. And we had a conversation. That is where you pose a question. If you are Rezian, what would you do? And most of them definitely told me, I go for money. See, it is money. Kwani, why are we even in class? See, at the end of it, we want to make money.
Yes.
Why are we reading? Why are we in school? We want to make money at the end of it. And for a moment, you would think that, yeah, it can make a sense. But then look at it. For them, they see it as the easy way to make money.
Yeah. Yes. They don't understand why would we want to take a very long route to creating wealth. And there are shortcuts. Even the socialites don't make it any easier for us or for them, because money is flaunted, and the source of the money or the wealth is from these transactional relationships. You see, even the men, the young men saying, I have this kind of money and I get it from older ladies, and it's a thing. So why do I need to sit here and struggle a lot just so that I make a living, and I can just walk out as I am right now and get someone. And for a moment, if you reason with these people, with these teenagers, for them it is making a lot of sense. True. Because again, we say they're not really able to think through issues very clearly and make very critical decisions.
Yeah.
So as parents, again, the question is, do we sit with them so that we analyze we analyze the gray areas that are not being told by these socialites, by these people, and by these things that are very flashy and very catchy for them and seem very easy.
Yeah.
Have we told them the effects of these transactional relationships? Have we told them the dangers? Have we explained, have we showed them practical examples that we're able to see even from social media? Because the other day, we went to class and they tell you how this so-and-so has done this, and you chomo for them a video of this so-and-so that they're looking up to with I don't know how many vehicles, again in another video, confessing that
they don't even have even one. Again, in our schools, I hope you have noted as well that girls really think that being married to a mzungu, it's a door to money.
Yeah.
And so that is why the other day nilikuwa na scroll TikTok, by the way, and then I find this page. They are live, and so I chose to log in. Is it logging in
to join
the live?
Yes.
And so I find some wazungus, and there is a lady, the hosts, and then I could see some two Kenyan girls, and so what is happening? It is hooking up, and you could tell that these girls do not even know what they even getting themselves into. Wengine wanasema outrightly, I'm just here for fun, I am married, I have a ring, and they are showing the ring. And you realize that even in schools they have that narrative. So they, in their minds, they imagine ukikuwa na mzungu, it is just making money, and it is the best, the perfect life everybody has. Na unajua ni kitu tumekagwa kwa akili as Africans, that wazungu, they are the source of money. And so wanaona, so long as I get a mzungu, I'll get what? I'll get money. Yeah. So it becomes, I'm just looking for mzungu to marry me off, and I get a visa, I get a permanent marriage certificate.
Before we end up visa, they don't even realize that there's all those things involved. Why bora muzungu will sort out all my problems together with my entire clan.
Ako kwa picture.
Bora kuna mtu mweupe hapo hivyo, me I'm well. And the amount of ignorance and the narrative that imetrendishwa, and they buy it kwa wholesale, by the way, without even giving thought to it. And these are the things that we are saying, that they're really desperate to have somebody to unpack and show them the reality in them. Again, wanafikiria wazungu, they're very friendly.
Yeah.
Muzungu ni kama Yesu. So muzungu atakuna gender-based violence huko. The
any form of assault.
Ni Alejandro na Fernando. Fernando.
D.
Ni D ama ni D.
Hiyo tu.
Ni how they are those people we used to watch kwa soap opera. And you just only can pity a young person who gives up the opportunity or doesn't really take seriously opportunity to better themselves and invest in themselves, and only looks at another person being their ultimate source of help for them, their families, and it is sad. And because we've let this narrative go on for quite a long time,
and that is why some will even wonder, mbona mnateseka, mbona hamna pesa, na watu wako huku na pesa, and you are a girl, so you just get yourself one. It's not just a girl, even the boys nowadays, we have seen that happening. You hook up with the mzungu, the narrative is you get in money.
They argue that whatever it is that you're using is a renewable resource. And it's only sad because now they don't know what other things come with that. And that is where we come in as adults to undo these misconceptions and misinformation that they have, so that we together understand that everybody has a duty to invest in themselves. Otherwise out here watu wako na plan B, and actually it's turning out to be plan A.
It is the only plan. It is turning out to be the only
it's
plan.
the only plan.
Yes.
I think we really need to know that as parents. Again, there's this young person I met. We had some work we were doing together, and one evening he pulls a very interesting thing. I don't know kama it was directed to me the likes of me. Anasema mimi mtu that the kid of 40 driving their first car can't even advise me,
has nothing on me,
nothing to offer at all. Why don't you have money? And
why don't you have a car?
Like, you just struggle. You know, to them these material things is the only measure of success.
True.
Eri mtu alia kwa nini?
Alie kwa Range Rover.
Nyinyi watu wa kutembea, walk well, the Lord be with you on your way. Kula vumbi.
It looks like uliekewa hapa pesa na shida. At 40 years ukabwa kuchukua didi shida. Do they even really understand? Hata watu wenye wanawaona na hizo gari kubwa kubwa, they've had their journey as well.
It's just so it's a pitiful situation, because these are the things we overlook. Na kwa akili ya teenager niyo ndio success. Bola ni akona iPhone. Wewe kuna mwingine hata sheniuliza simu yako ni gani? Ngambia it's a phone, I use it and make calls, I do what I need to do with it. Apana ni gani simu yako, you know, because they you know, they want to attach value and the person, the value to a person based on what they have. These flashy things doesn't really matter. I can have a kabambe, but I'm still a good person. I'm showing up for myself. I'm investing in myself. I'm morally okay. I can choose. Actually, hata ukiwaambia, there are countries in which whereby people choose to actually use bikes. There are countries where even the president walks on the streets. To a gate.
And the other day even so, there is a lady, a content creator, she's doing quite well, but she decides to make a mad house. So for them, they don't understand. Mbona uunde nyumba ya matope? I have the money, but I have decided this is what I'm doing with the money. Kwa wanaona the measure of wealth is the material. Everything must be iPhone. You're doing you
bungalow.
And you see, it is a lot of work as parents we have to unlearn, to make them unlearn that it's not always about the material things.
It is
and
not.
Whoever has made it like they perceive it has had their journey. They've worked for the money that they have.
Exactly.
It's not about waking up one day and you have all this money.
And all that money that is not necessarily a measure of happiness. But I know this is controversial. You have to have a journey for them to get
Range Rover
to get this.
That is the mentality.
Inayo ni ngumu ku explain. All right. And now the other reason as to why we have gaps in terms of sexuality with our young people and our teenagers is because sometimes we have over strict parents. Parents who are not accommodative.
Overly strict. And this can only lead to two things. One is miscommunication. And the other one is the fear. Again, we go back to kids taking everything you say literally.
Yes.
You see, a friend of mine was telling me as they were joining campus, they were told, wewe, usijue mwanaume. And even after the 4 years, they still wondered, how was I supposed not to know a man? They did not get the meaning.
And there are so many in campus.
And there are so many, and the friends, like 90% of the men, your friends are men. Na uone kitu mbaya na wao.
Na hata kuwajua, it is not like an option. Like if your next door neighbor is a man, utamujua too, because you can't help So unamuona.
How will you?
You know, in their heads, that is what is going on. They're not getting these things that these terminologies that were used in the 90s and the 60s.
True. Wanaamua kuchukua. Another day a parent was giving us an example during a meeting that waliambia mtoi wake, the father was giving the child the reassurance that you can always come back home.
Yep.
So mtoto akaambiwa ukienda shule mkifukuzwa we rudi to home.
Akifukuzwa sababu ya nini?
Akifukuzwa sababu ya fee. Alikuwa na fee balance. Kwani si tunajua tunafukuzwa sababu ya fee?
Okay.
That is,
I thought ni bad manners.
Assumption. No,
it was aliambiwa wewe ukienda ukimisbehave ukifukuzwa rudi.
No, not the millennial parent. So
okay.
the child goes to school and decides to come back without, they don't know the reason amerudi. And so mtoto anakuja na ulizo, kwa nini umerudi home? Anasema si uliniambia nikifukuzwa nirudi, naweza rudi tu home, naweza rudi. So alirudi tu
the same day.
Yes, kumbe hata hakufika shule. Alienda akafika, aliona tu sinaweza rudi.
Kitu alishika nini? Kienda hakuna fizo naweza rudi.
Naweza rudi, and they came back. That was it. And so they had again to explain, I meant this and this and this. Unaona? Watoto hawachukuli, hakuna kitu wana overthink. It is what you've told me, that is what I'm doing. You told me I can go, nisijue mwanaume. Na sasa zingine don't make sense, you know.
Yeah, it's like you didn't actually they stopped taking you seriously anymore because vitu unasema hawaoni logic, and because again maybe you're not accommodative enough to explain the whys and to answer the questions that come with them. Wanakuacha tu, wanaona huyu hata making sense. Because imagining kama huyo mtoto aliambiwa ukienda urudi, is the same person pia some point aliambiwa usijue wanaume. Okay, hakuget ya kwanza, nyingine hata get kama ni advice ajue hata ni nini. Yeah, hiyo siku nyingine akaambiwa wewe enda usome kwa bidii na usifanye vitu zilikupeleka shule.
Na hata ajui kwa nini tunasomaga kwa bidii. You know, sometimes you are never even told kwa nini, na already masomo yenyewe ni ngumu. Unajua kusoma si rahisi. Hakuna kitu rahisi. So useme tu kwa bidii na anajua kuna njia nyingine ya kumeka
exactly pesa. Kwa hiyo mbogia mimi ninataka nimalize niolewe na mzungu akona pesa mama baba. You know, so you are not even on the same page. Wewe uko zako yako zake. Are we ever on the same page, by the way?
Really?
It is a question every parent needs to sit back and wonder, tunakuanga pamoja ama nakuanga peke yangu? Because if you analyze what you've been telling your kid, you need to really answer yourself, ujue, have we been communicating? Ama we've not?
Ama I've been talking to myself.
Everybody
has been picking their own message, interpreting the message the way the best they know.
Yes.
Because this generation, one thing you'll note, that they are independent thinkers.
Yep.
And they want to ask questions. They want to understand why we are doing things the way we are doing them, and why we are not doing them the way I think is the best. And so if we are not answering these questions, they will pick what they want and what suits them. You see?
Yeah, and to add on that, our watoto, it's the age in which wanna develop their autonomy. They want to know who am I, what am I, why am I here, what am I doing this, what do I like, what do I not like, how do I want to do my things, how do I want my hair to look like, do I want it red or pink? And they want to be given that opportunity to decide what they want. So kama ameamua mimi nafaa kupika, nitapika na nitaosha vyombo baadaye. But the mother wants, as you cook, you also do the dishes. Ashiki, because you're not even explaining, and you're also not letting them express themselves. Yeah. Actually, it's a need that they have as they are developing the wanajitafuta. So you can only help them by explaining why.
Yeah. Why are things being done the way you think should be done? And on to another thing you began by saying that being too overly strict can again create fear. Na inanikumbusha kitambo tulikuwa tunakuwa tukifundishwa about sex sex education.
Yeah.
It was about some scary pictures on the boards of in schools. Hata kwa soko, by the way. Some reproductive bodies placed there. Was it STIs?
Yes.
And then it is very scary. And the stigmatization.
Yeah.
Nakumbuka, it was said that anybody who is slim, who is slender, that person is positive. And so we would never even want to even associate with them.
Exactly.
So unapata tulikuwa tunawaogopa. I remember we were not even sharing spoons.
Yeah,
and cups.
Usishikwe na HIV.
Kwanza huyo mwenye anakaa hivi unashikwa na ringworm. Huyo that one we are suspecting. But again, that is very different from nowadays. You think you're going to sell fear. They are not buying the fear.
They are
because they are very informed.
Exactly.
They have access to information. It can be the right information or the wrong information. So it is up to us as the adults, as the mentors. Now, which kind of information are our teenagers or kids accessing?
Na jamani, mambo ni mengi haya. I think there's so much to unpack about this matter of teenagers and sex, and how best to handle it as a society.
Yeah.
And so I think it is so much that we need to do, and we can just do part 1 and 2.
True. Thank you for watching the first part of the current trend of underage sex and hookup culture. So stay tuned for the second episode. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye-bye.